What it do, what it do, what it do, what it do, what it do. It's your boy V Note the Most, aka Lil V, aka Trilly Trill, aka Got Dreams, aka Vernell Abraham. Here for uh, another good reading of the Seminoles and Creek beefing over black Seminoles, but now we in the year 1850, 1850. So just like I stated, I wish I would have started in 1849 so we can have a better timeline of what's happening. But I did kind of start at 1854. The last one was 1849 in July. Now we in the 1850s. I hope everybody having a good Saturday. Uh, put on a little beat real quick. Like I said, I got to get my production skills up, but we getting it together, whatever. Just a little bit. And if you ain't already seen, if you ain't already been, like I said, if you ain't already peeped out some of my stuff already, you can go over here to my channel. The book the Strictly Ghetto Engine, and I got the book from shout out to Truth 101. I mean not 101, but 111 Truth. I like how he did that, the Book of Cortez. So I say, yeah, that's hard. So this where you can go get. Let me change that up just a little bit. But this where you can go see some of my last little videos, though. Go see some of my last little videos. I did do a live reacting to legendary Top Cats, the Seminole Wars when he was on the Black Magic 363, and I'm saying I was just reacting to the fact that he called Abraham a traitor, and I ain't got nothing against Top Cat. He reading his information, he getting what he getting, and it is what it is. But I definitely don't agree with that. You can go listen to that and hear some more about that information. It's like I said, you can go back and go peep out to July 1849, Creek versus Seminoles. You can go back to 1854. I got a part 1 and part 2 for the 1854. So today we're gonna be getting into the. Let me bring that up real quick. That up out of that real quick. Let me go and turn that off real quick. Okay. So we at June 12th, 1850. You got Roby McIntosh, the principal chief of the Creek Nation. Looks like that he's writing a letter about this situation. It's like I say, this kind of be like the cover letter sheet. And this is about relative to Seminole Negroes. And I know English, so they talking about one person right here. You know what I'm saying? One particular Seminole Negroes. It's a certain type of Negro. It's an American Negro. Seminole Negro. It's not Seminoles Negroes. You know what I'm saying? It's not like it's they Negroes. You know how some people try to paint that picture. Just a Seminole Negro. I need for y'all to get a good understanding with that. So let's go. So we right here, June 12th, 1850. We got General Belknap. We got General Belknap. Okay. Dear sir. Okay, dear sir, I had an interview with the lieutenant that you sent over to ascertain what right Hard Age had to shoot the Negro who is in property of Gopher John. As I had not seen Mr. Hard Age at that time, I could give no satisfaction relative to the circumstances, but sent up for Mr. Hard Age, who came down and has given a full explanation. He has authority from the Seminole chiefs to talk or to take all the property left by Gopher John in this nation, as it is well known that the said John decoyed off a number of Negroes belonging to the said Hard Age. And had he no claims to the said Negro, our laws would justify him in the cause he took, even if he had killed the Negro on the ground. For the Negro resisted and tried to take a gun from Mr. Hard Age's son, who was the person that shot him. I would also act it that I will also add that I see nothing inconsistent in the course taken with Jim Bowlegs and Stephen. For D.N. McIntosh had a bill of sale for Stephen, and our laws would also justify him in the course he took with the two Negroes, and they had arms and horses. So it sounds like they trying to make an excuse on why they got down on. I think they probably shot Jim or Stephen. It looks like whoever Hard Age is, it looks like that he was paid to basically like a policeman to go try to basically like a black person hunter, hunting black people to put them in slavery, even though that they free. And they're trying to justify with fake paperwork. So that's what's going on right here. Somebody did get shot, even if he was on the ground. That's messed up. So they're trying to say that Hard Age had authority to be able to, do what he was doing because Gopher John had left so many Negroes when he had went to Texas, and they said that the ones that was left over was his property. So let's go to the next page. Which our laws prohibited any Negro slave. Okay, so any Negro slave couldn't have a gun or a horse. You know what I'm saying? From owning. And I have been informed by good authority that Jim Bowleg is a slave. Consequently, I must deal with him as I would other slaves until I am convinced to the contrary. Now that's crazy because within 1854 they was calling Jim Bowleg a chief. So you got different people, different generals giving different terminology and stuff like that. What's going on? Hold on real quick. So people giving different terminology, and they trying to say that he a slave, even though his so-called owner is in Florida. So That don't even make no sense. They just like I said, they just putting that title on black people so that they can have the right to be able to do what they was doing at that time. Okay, until I am convinced to the contrary. The laws of our country allow any person to take his property at any place that he can find it, and these Negroes are the property of man who took them from all the information that I can gather. At the least of the laws, at least the laws of our nation would give them ownership. See, that's the ooh wop in the game. That's the twist. That's the fake paperwork. That's just how the game go. You look a certain way, you get a certain features. It don't matter, it don't matter where you coming from, what you been doing. You a slave. Point blank. That was going on at that time in 1850. Definitely, that was before the Civil War. And even though they so-called was outlawing bringing slaves, like important slaves and stuff like that, but it was still rampant as far as just running up on black people within America to make them slaves. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, so let's scroll down a little bit. The next paragraph. I have been very much surprised indeed to find that you will give the Seminole Negroes protection after telling me in presence of Bill Marshall and Kendall Lewis that you had nothing more to do with them. See? They trying to run a play. They hoping that the government but the government already was gonna let them do what they do within their land. That's what they was expecting, but they can't resist the going to go get these black people. They can't resist it. He mad at whoever he talking to right now about how they protecting them. It is well known that these Negroes have repeatedly violated our laws. That's just living. That's just living freely, doing what they was doing before when they was in Florida, when they had their own black towns doing what they was doing. But they saying, well, you can't have no guns and you can't have no horses, and that's making us look weak. But that's just the front, just to go on and do this slave raid to get this money. That's what all this is about. It's about locking niggas up and making them work for free, just like niggas that's locked up now in the prisons. This is kind of the start of rounding niggas up that was over here in certain sections coming up with kill squads, kick dough teams. This is where this is the origins of this shit right here, straight up. It is well known that these Negroes have violated our laws, and as these niggas making up fake laws and shit, y'all stop it. And niggas was already over here in the land doing what they was doing, had their own towns and had their cattle, had their gardens or whatever, had their little foremen, had their little clothes, had their families. I mean, they was already doing what they was doing in Florida for a while. But we're gonna get to that now. We just in 1850. And have as often found protection by the commanding officer at Gibson. So they saying that they protecting them at Fort Gibson. The right of making our own laws and executing them. So this is the chief of the Creek. So this is the head dude of the Creek talking to Fort Gibson or whoever the general is at the time. We're gonna find it at the end. Executing them as being granted to us by some of the treaties. Why should you then desire to take that right from us. So whenever they got their treaties of that, that's when they just started making up laws. These niggas didn't have no laws before 1820. These niggas didn't have no law. They talking about our laws and how we, nigga, the white boys gave y'all laws on how niggas supposed to be acting on this land. Just the same way niggas just acting on the motherfucking reservation land right now, nigga. But let me chill out. I'm just like I said, I kind of want to make it kid friendly. The elders is watching. I just be getting upset, man, when I be looking at this, man, and I be seeing how they basically put the play in and how we got to where we at right now. Okay, so why should you then desire to take that right from us? If we are not to enforce our laws over the Negroes, tell us so, that we may know what to do. See, that's telling you, right? I'm telling you that the government had a hand in all this. They waiting for the government. They waiting for the Indian agent to tell them what to do, even though they trying to do what they do. But they trying to do what they do, acting like Americans. They moving like white people now. So they let me enforce our laws. They talking like the police. Are we gonna wait for the feds? Are we gonna wait for y'all to, you know what I'm saying, gonna give us the, push the button for us? Come on, man. That we may know what to do in future. We feel it our duty to enforce our laws, and if the Negroes are in our limits, we will be compelled to notice them. Accordingly, according to our laws, and that you took the other, according to our laws, that you took the other day is national property. But our laws must be suspended when they come in contact with Seminole Negroes. See, he trying to, okay, as we would like for our agent to do something relative to the Seminole Negroes, which in Washington, please give us an answer, and that we may know your view fully. Yours respectfully, signed Roby McIntosh, Principal Chief of the Creek Nation. And this is going to General Belknap at Fort Gibson in Arkansas. So as you see that the chief of the Creek is trying to go, if we go back right here to the beginning, he's trying to justify why this dude Hard Age, the person that they hired to be able to go round up the remaining on the Black Seminoles that was left from John Gopher. I guess it didn't go with John Gopher, and somebody got killed and stuff like that. So you're trying to justify it, and you're trying to say, well, we got to enforce our laws. Y'all gave us these laws, and y'all gave us this, but the Seminole Negroes, they breaking the law, so we got to do something to stop them from breaking the law. So that's what this was about. On what date was this? This is June 12th, 1850. June 12th, 1850. So we're going to do a small break real quick. Yeah, what it do? What it do? Now that was July 12th, 1850. As you see what was going on at the time, turn this down just a little bit. So now we first to bring it. So now we first to bring it to. So now we first to bring it to Fort Gibson, July 15th, 1850. So this is 1 month later from when the chief of the Creek had hit up General Belknap. So this is coming from Fort Gibson, and the other letter was coming from the Creek Nation. Okay, in answer to your communication, okay, 1 moment. In answer to your communication of the 10th instant, or whatever that is, I have the honor to reply that on above the 24th ultimo, a party of Creek Indians accompanied by several. Okay, hold on, let me bring that back. In answer to your communications of the 10th instant, I have the honor to reply that on or about the 24th, a party of Creek Indians accompanied by several white men, citizens of the United States, and a few Cherokees armed in the vicinity of Wewoka, Seminole Nation. Armed and equipped, I soon learned their objective. I soon learned their object was to take forcible possession of a number of Negroes, and that the time residing in the Seminole Nation, known as the Seminole Negroes, but claimed by some of the leaders of the aforesaid party. Much excitement was produced among the Seminole people in the vicinity, as the object of the man was not clearly known to them, and when they learned that they was there, and when they learned that is what and when they learned that was their intention to attack the Negro town, many of them assisted. Hold on 1 moment. Okay, my bad about that. Okay, much excitement was provided among the Seminole people in the vicinity, and the object of the man was not clearly known to them, as when they did learn that it was their intention to attack the Negro town, many of them assisted the the firm determination to assist the Negroes in defending themselves. At this stage of the affair, I considered it my duty to interfere and immediately by letter informed Mr. Marcellus Duval, the Seminole agent of the arrival of the party, of the intention of both parties, and requested his immediate presence to prevent the pending difficulties. So that's crazy that he said that, because he basically is saying, is lightweight trying to say that Marcellus Duval didn't know nothing about this party being in Wewoka, Oklahoma, well, in Wewoka Seminole Nation, at that time, to rape Seminole Negroes. But Marcellus Duval was the one who put everything in play. He was the ones that put the battery in the creeks back. He was the one that they got the other white man citizens of the United States to run with the creek. He was the one to, that was going to split up everything. He was the big slave trader. They trying to write it out like, oh yeah, I hit him up because it was my duty to stop what was going on. But I guess he didn't know that Duval was really behind everything. So let's keep it going and see what else he got to say. I also called on Ian McIntosh, the chief or leader of the Creek Party, and pointed out to him the consequences of an attack by his party. I made him clearly understand that himself and followers as individuals were, by the course they were about to pursue, likely to bring on a war between the Seminole Nation and their own, and told him I should consider it my duty to interfere if he proceeded. Okay, so they was gonna back us. It looks like they was gonna back us. I also informed him of my having sent for the agent and suggested that before he proceeded a thorough understanding should be had with the Seminole chiefs. Mr. Duval arrived the next day. Mr. McIntosh, the leader of the Creek Party, was directed by him to remove his party to the north side of North Fork of the Canadian with the Creek country, which he did. The agent then called a council of Seminole chiefs, and Mr. McIntosh and 4 other of the Creeks were appointed to meet the Seminoles. In this council, the Seminoles agreed to assist the Creek force and to arm something with the Creek force and to assist them in taking and in delivering over a number of Negroes. Now, I wonder, why did they do that? What made them do that at this council with the Creek? When they ain't never did that before, they never gave us up. They wasn't never giving us up, even when a lot of people was dying in Florida, when everything was going down. They never gave up the black people. But now in Wewoka Seminole Nation, within 1850, we have some Seminole chiefs saying that they do agree to assist the Creeks with giving up the Negroes now. I wonder, how did that happen? How many did not learn? I did not learn. And as the Seminole Creeks came to this decision, I considered that any further interference of my part would be presumptuous. I learned from a good source. Here we go with these good sources and authorities and all this other type of stuff, but they ain't putting no name on it. I learned from a good source that about 180 Negroes have been taken. Many of them are only retained as prisoners. What did I tell you? Tell me when. Tell me when was black people taken as prisoners? This is the first. This in Wewoka, Seminole Nation. It's the first like Fed raid where they enslave black people to be prisoners to work for to really kind of they was already doing like runaway slaves and stuff like that, doing stuff like that. But as far as coming up with a program and team to round up 180 niggas in one town so that they can go to work. They not gonna kill them. They not gonna send them out the country. They not doing. They first to go to work. They locked up. They gotta go to work. This may be the start, man. I'm gonna dig a little bit more. I don't know where else they was running up on a whole bunch of free black people in the States calling the government, getting help from the government, said they need forces, said they need assistance with generals. I don't know where else, man. This is the real police, man. We the first ones, man. Straight up, we woke a Seminole Nation. Why did the Creek Chiefs do that, man? For a time, in order to prevent them from giving information and support to those who had fled. All that had been taken were at the Seminole Agency. When I left Wewoka some 5 days since, a large number of the Negroes, about 180, had not been taken. So it was about 360, 350 to 400 black people living in Wewoka and were en route for Texas. So it was about 180 en route for Texas, armed and biting. Armed and biting defiance of any person or persons who should attempt to take them. This party, I am informed, is commanded by Jim Bowlegs, the chief. Now they're trying to call him, they say, a slave of Billy Bowlegs, now in Florida. How is he a slave of Billy Bowlegs and Billy Bowlegs is in Florida? You see how they just make up shit. How the hell they know that he's a slave of Billy Bowlegs? He way up here. This nigga in fucking Florida. Like these, it's crazy, man. You can just see the racism. You can see the manipulation within the paperwork, within the writings. You know, how it's just a label that's placed on them. It's not factual. It's not factual. It's just a label that's placed on these certain people. Now in Florida, all the Negroes that have been taken as yet have been taken by Seminoles themselves. So that's what they did. They just butter us up, and they paid the Seminoles to butter us up and say, you're gonna be have a job, you're gonna be working, you're gonna be, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna have a job, that old stuff, probably type stuff. You're gonna be able to take care of your family, you know what I'm saying? Some old crazy stuff like that. By the Seminoles themselves. And turned over to the Creeks who were encamped about 6 miles from the Negro town. I am directed in your letter to state who are the leaders or principal men of the Creek Party, and also what white men and Cherokees are engaged with them or took part in the affairs. I answer, I have to state that the Creek was McIntosh, Hard Age, Tom Carr, Joe Smith, John Sayles were the principals. The Cherokees were William Drew, Dick Drew, Martin Van. The white men were P.H. White of Van Buren, Arkansas, G.M. Smith of Fort Smith, Arkansas, Matthews, a trader near the Creek Agency, and Gabriel Duvall, a citizen of Montgomery, Alabama. So how the hell? That's crazy. Just like I say, they had converted over to being Americans at that time. They basically almost look at themselves as almost white boys. Because everybody got an American name, even the Chiefs, the Creeks, McIntosh, Hard Age, like Isaiah Hard Age. I can't read the first. Some McIntosh, some Hard Age, John Carr, Joe Smith, John Sayles were the principals. Now we got the Cherokees, William Drew, Dick Drew, and Martin Van. I mean, come on, them is all white boy names, man. And then this dude right here, Gabriel Duvall, the citizen from Montgomery, from Alabama, he's supposed to be speaking up for his so-called brother, William Duvall. Is supposed to be a lawyer that so-called, I don't know how he ended up speaking up for the Seminoles when the Seminoles already had it in writing that they was gonna come to the Indian Territory when they was in Florida. That's why they ended up in New Orleans and ended up being shipped up throughout the years. But somehow, some way, it's a lawyer from Alabama that's representing the Seminoles. For some reason, we're gonna have to find that out and figure out how did the Seminole chief say, yeah, for you helping us, you get 200 or 100 or 300 or 400, whatever number of Negroes. That's just crazy. That don't even make sense. You ain't getting paid that much as a lawyer, nigga. Stop it. As to the claims of the above named individuals to the Negroes they have taken, I have nothing except from report that Mr. G. Duvall is acting on the part of his brother, William Duvall, recently deceased. The Seminole Chiefs had made an agreement to give to William Duvall a certain number of Negroes for services he had rendered the nation, which Negroes are now being turned over to G. Duvall for the estate of his brother William. Man, that's fake paperwork. His nigga coming from Alabama. How the hell did some niggas coming from Florida get in possession of a lawyer from Alabama when these niggas is coming from the central and the south part of Florida? Like, this is crazy, man. They just making up stuff, man. They just keep, this is the fake paperwork makeup. Not as far as this letter, but them just trying to presenting that they have some type of right over these niggas, that they are masters, or, fake bill of sales, and just saying, oh, well, I did this, so I'm supposed to. Nah, this is crazy. And I am, sir, very respectfully, your obedient servant, signed F.J. Dent, a captain of the fifth Infantry. And this is okay, so he a captain. He a Captain Dent. This is Captain Dent, and this is going to Flint, a general. So he's informing him of what was going on and what was that date. He informed him what went on July 15th, 1850, before we was in June. I'm gonna have a small break. Take a small water break. What it do? What it do? Okay, now we back at it. Had a small break. Had a small little commercial. Now we're gonna get back to it. We was just at June 1850. I mean, we was just at July 1850. Before that, we was at June 1850. Now September 20th, 1850. Cover letter sheet. And this is the petition of certain Creek chiefs to Roby McIntosh. The National Archives of the United States. So we coming with primary sources on this bill. Okay, hold on. So we in September. Okay, I'm tripping. My bad. Wrong screen. Tripping. So we in September of 1850. First we was at June, July, now it's September. Friends and brothers. So this is a petition to the Creek leaders. So friends and brothers, I find from information received that Wildcat, the Seminole chief, has returned to this country and find from a report published in the papers that he had collected some of 800 Indians in western Texas with hostile intentions. So they had this in the paper that was published in the papers that he had 800 Indians in western Texas. Yeah, man, this is the big homie Wildcat that I be saying, man. See, Wildcat, man, I'm gonna have to do a real special on Wildcat, man, with all this little stuff, man, because Wildcat is a real G, man. Wildcat is a real American legend, man, that the world need to know about, man. He really stood up with the blacks, man, hard. He stood up with the blacks hard, man. Because that's how he came up. His uncles, his father, his aunties, sisters, brothers, family. So it was always love. We're going to bring that story to light more so the people can know that we was in Florida doing what we was doing. But let's get back to it. He had some 800 Indians in western Texas with hostile intentions, and some murders have been committed. Nigga, these is the rioters. I'm trying to tell you, man, he was a rioter, man. And he was upset, man, that they backdoored him and let Jim Jumper do that. And that they let Jim Jumper be the, you know what I'm saying? But he was going to give the okay to say, man, don't do nothing to these black people. Don't do nothing to these black Seminoles. They good peoples. But they couldn't have that. This is published in the York Journal of Commerce of July 18th and hasn't and hasn't then to inform and has been to inform you that he is now in what it do 903. He gonna buy the P, man. Hope you having a good Saturday morning. I'm just getting out this little build on the Creeks versus the Seminoles in 1850. I was in 1849 in July, and in 1854. Now we in the 1850s. Hasten to inform you that he is now in the Seminole district of this nation. So we got Wildcat is in the Seminole district of the nation. He came back with 800 Indians from West Texas. If these are facts as are published, and for him to return to this country under existing circumstances, we deemed it an act of calculating to secure the people of this country in his. Yeah, definitely, that's what I'm doing. Calculated to ensure the people of this country in his remaining in our midst as harboring man. Okay, let me bring that back. We deem it an act calculated to secure the people of this country in his remaining in our midst as harboring man guilty of outrageous on other citizens. It would be advisable for you to inform General Belknap of this, as it was not known positively that he had returned until this morning. So they on Wildcat, but they have to put this out ASAP. Found this out this morning. We were further informed that he had previously. We were further informed that he had previous to this coming and sent for such as would join him from his peoples to go to his assistance of that. I think that's what assist that he had sent on by the Kickapoos for supplies. Okay, so he's saying, so they really saying that he sent in the Kickapoos for supplies of gun, powder, for powder and lead. If you have any communications to make to us, come on now. Okay, if you have any communications to make to us and answers, you will please write as a council. Will take place on the 29th of this month. So the 29th of September is going to be a council. We had heard this and has distribute our men. Okay, we had heard this and had distributed our mind, but we had heard this and disturbed our mind, but must say to you to rest contenders and probably may hear further. Okay, so what this is about is just to let them know that Wildcat is in town. Okay, so so this is coming from the group. This is coming from a group of people. We are very respectfully your friends and brothers. These is the busters. These is the busters, man. These is the Seminoles that turned their back on us. These is the Seminoles. They turned their back on Seminoles. They turned their back on Wildcat. They turned their back on everybody that was with Wildcat. They turned their back on everybody that wasn't pushing their line. That's pushing Echo, Billy, Jimmy, Tuscany, and Arbuck. And yeah, if they ain't pushing that line, they done. And that's what caused also a big breakup. You know, when they talk about like during the Civil War, where some Seminoles was fighting with the Confederates and some Seminoles was fighting with the Union. This is where this shit started at. This is where these whole ass, man, just like I said, I'm trying to make it kid friendly, but like I said, I be having elders watching the video, so they don't be wanting me cussing and stuff, man. But this is where we broke up. This is where we broke up in the 1850s in September. When they wrote this letter right here, but it was probably before that. But it was before that. Whenever they did get the Creeks and everybody to do this, to get them to say so, to run up in the town. And you know what make it so crazy? Most of these niggas is Creeks anyway. Most of these niggas became Seminoles late in the game in Florida. Most of these niggas is coming from, I think Echo come from Tuskegee. I think he coming from Tuskegee. These Harjo niggas, these niggas is late. Come on, man. It's crazy. When they turned their back on Billy Bowlegs, they turned their back on Negro Abraham, they turned their back on Gopher John, they turned their back on the Riders that really was holding it down in Florida. What's this? September 20th, 1850, Canadian Creek Nation. Look, I told you these niggas was Creeks. Man, look, this nigga used to be a Seminole. So I guess this is the Creek, but these niggas is really, these niggas was banging Seminole. That's crazy. Now these niggas is Canadian Creeks. See, nigga, that's wicked. See, it's a play. I'm trying to tell y'all, man. It was a play, man. It was. These are the people that These are the people that's in the way, man. Straight up, man. These are the people that's in the way, boy. These are the people that gave up the whole town. These are the people that gave up the whole town and gave up their family with it. So, man, let me do another little commercial. I'm going to get into another episode real quick. Small break real quick. round table game, ice on his fame. Just gotta keep doing your thing, man. I be liking your builds, man. You know, I'm learning something off the builds. You know, definitely learning some history though. So definitely keep doing it. I appreciate you, giving me that push to do some more reading. You know what I'm saying? I really ain't no reading type dude, but I need to start reading. You know what I'm saying? And start, enhancing that part about me more. Get my speaking a little bit better, pronouncing my shit a little bit better. Just working on myself. So reading can give you, can help you work on yourself as far as your communication and stuff like that. So it's definitely been helpful. Glad to see that you're having a good Saturday. I'm studying the English. Yeah, keep studying it, man. We need somebody to master that because you're going to be the master. You're going to be the go-to. You know what I'm saying? So we need that. And niggas got to put some respect on you because, you're the one putting in the work. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. So, I definitely respect that, homie. I respect that, homie. Let me see what I'm going to go to next real quick. Okay. So, we was on September 20th. We was just on September 20th. Now, it's September 23rd. So 3 days later, once we got busters, the snitches, we got the snitches talking about Wildcat to the, to the peoples, informing them what's going on when they ain't supposed to be doing that. But now we in Vargas, so Vargas is up like northeast. Oh, it's like way up in the corner of Oklahoma. So it's more like the Cherokee. I would say it's more in the Cherokee Nation. I think it's more Cherokee Nation. So I guess this is General Bell now. So I guess he's up in Vargas right now. So let me turn this down and see what he got to say. Cause I'm pretty sure he responding to that letter that he just got on the 20th about how Wildcat just came in and they looking at him as a big threat. Okay, I have this morning enclosed you a letter received from the Canadian Chiefs. The Canadian Chiefs. This nigga Echo Harjo, and these nigga Harjo is a buster. This nigga supposed to be signing as a Seminole. Now this nigga Canadian Chiefs, nigga, stop it. And a talk from the Hattahoochee Minko concerning Wildcat. The messenger came in last night that Wildcat got back and brought in a news that he went on and he went on and talked with Mexicans and they agreed to give him land and substance if he come and settle in the country. Now he come back with inciting news and want to curry his people in that nation. And the Negroes, he told them if they immigrate to that country, they will be freed by the government. This good news to the Negroes. I am told some are preparing to go. He further states that he had 400 men with him when he was traveling. But he come in by himself, one woman and a young man. But what came to this? Okay, so what What come what come of this 400 men we have not learned? Wildcat held counsel with his people, had this talk with them when I was with you last night, when I got a turn back to when I got a trace back to Wildcat, I would let okay, when I get something back from Wildcat, I will let you know. This is Truth Tech. Truth Talk. This is a True Talk I sent. Okay. I got a True Talk of Wildcat. I will let you know this is a True Talk I sent. You won't I want you to consider it and write me an answer. We're going to hold council today at K serves. Should you answer this letter for the best for your nation? Okay, for the best for our nation. Direct your letter to that place. Nothing more. Your friend, signed, Macintosh. This is the okay. So these niggas done started a whole new game. These niggas done started a whole new tribe called the Canadians. That's wicked. The Canadian Creek. That's wicked. That's wicked. And they telling on Wildcat. So the Canadian nation sent a letter to Macintosh to inform him what was going on with Wildcat, and that basically letting them know that if you come at me, you're gonna be free, which you already seem like you free now. See, that was probably the mix up. Most niggas like, nigga, I'm free now. I'm doing what we want to do. Like, hold on, they finna come over and try to get at you. You need to go and come down here because they still tripping. You know what I'm saying? You see how they didn't let me be chief. You see how things ain't always the same. You need to follow me and come down to Mexico where it's really gonna be popping. You know what I'm saying? But it was lightweight popping where they was at because they was lightweight doing their thing and they with their peoples already. And you know, the people's been softening them up. They've been buttering them up. They've been letting them have their guns. They've been giving them liquor. They've been letting them drink. They've been letting them do what they want to do out here. They just setting them up for the UWAP. You know, they just setting them up for the raid. But as you see, as soon as Wildcat come back, he letting them know, man, it's guaranteed. Come with me a stamp. You come to Mexico, it's good. I done talk to the governor. We're going to get money, and we're going to get land. We're going to get subsidies. We good down there. I don't know how he made that happen. I'm going to have to dig deep and find out exactly how he made that happen with the governor down in Mexico. But this is September 13th, 1850. This is September 13th, 1850. So now we got one more date. We're going to go to in the 1850s. That's going to be the end of this build for today. So we at the headquarters of the 5th Infantry, Fort Gibson, Arkansas, or Fort Gibson, Indian Nation. So I guess that part was in the Indian Nation, I guess. October 15th, 1850. Sir I have the honor to acknowledge the receipt of your communications of the 5th Infantry in relation to accepted accepted difficulties between the Creek and Seminoles. In reply, I have to inform you that the chief of the Creek Nation, McIntosh, has stated to me that he has sent a party of 300 warriors into the Seminole country with instructions to prevent any Negroes from leaving the nation with Wildcat, and also to detain that chief until the object of his mission could be ascertained. He also wrote to the agent and principal chiefs of the Seminoles in in the same subject. He states his object to have been prevent. Okay, he states that his object have been to prevent the Negroes from escaping with Wildcat to Mexico, and not in any manner to deprive the Seminoles of them. The party sent out proceeded as far as Wewoka, where they halted, and after learning that Wildcat was still in the Seminole country and that a number of Negroes were making preparations to leave, returned home. So they went out there and returned home. Hold on. Let's see what they got to say about that. Returned home. Without accomplishing anything. He also said that he had not yet received replies to his letters to the agent-in-chiefs of the Seminoles, but will inform me of their contents when they reach them, or when they reach him when they reach him, which will be immediately communicated to you. I am well aware of the duties imposed upon me by Party 89 Army regulations, and have heretofore and will continue to keep the general address of all events deemed important by me that may transpire in the Indian country. I have the honor to be very respectfully your obedient servant, General Belknap, the Brunei General. And this is going to the Assistant Adjutant General, Major Page, at Fort Smith. Okay, yeah, Fort Gibson is in the Indian Territory. I'm tripping. I got it mixed up with Fort Smith. Fort Smith in Arkansas. So this whole time in the 1850s, so I guess, I guess it must have went down. 1849 is when it went down. In the 1850s, McIntosh was trying to justify why one of his little policemen or whatever had killed one of the Seminole Negroes, and trying to justify that and trying to say how they got to enforce their laws, and how y'all can't be, basically how y'all let us make up the laws, but y'all not letting us enforce some type stuff when it comes to the Seminole Negroes. Just like he was like, man, but y'all making a difference out of them and the other Negroes type stuff. Like, they doing too much and we got to enforce our laws because they Negroes. And then we find out that Wildcat come back, and he telling all the Negroes that was left over that didn't go down with Gopher John, that didn't leave with Gopher John and them on that last little voyage. The Wildcat came back and was telling them, hey, go on and come with me for show to Mexico. You're going to be freed. It's going to be all good. But then you got busters within the nation is going back. I guess they made their own little committee of a committee, the Canadian Creeks. Uh, Niggas like Echo, these niggas are supposed to be Seminoles, and they informing McIntosh what's going on. You see, McIntosh had sent 300 warriors down there to go, you know what I'm saying, to go try to stop, but you see they left. On there, there's been a lot of miscommunications. There's been a lot of basically, don't let the niggas leave. You know what I'm saying? Don't let the black Seminoles leave. You know what I'm saying? Even though they're supposed to be free, but that's the whole play that I'm saying that they plan to try to do, to try to just enslave them. You know, I think this is the first in the United States where a certain section of blacks was being targeted by government officials over here, which is the police and the army, to make black people prisoners to do free work. But it's not like these black people is getting off on a boat, or these black people is runaway slaves. They trying to put the runaway slave on them. That's the fake paperwork. They trying to just make them slaves, even though they're supposed to just be citizens at this time when they come out here to the Indian Territory, because that's what was agreed with General Jessup down in Florida. But that's it for today for the 1850. I'll play a little bit of music. For a Q&A, if there's any Q&As or anything. One moment. Rally got caught up by Echo Cargo. Walker Rally got caught up by Echo Cargo. Yeah, it was a hard job. Yeah, it was a hard job. Yeah, it was a hard job. Hard job. Turn into the pop. And a hard job. Turn into the pop. Hard job. Turn into pop. And a hard job. Turn into pop. Straight bastards. straight bust. So that, yes, I can drop this link. I don't know if YouTube's still tripping. I don't know if YouTube's still tripping. Let me see if I can drop the link. Yeah, they still rejected the link. So I don't know why they rejected my link, man. Crazy in the YouTube world, man. Hopefully tomorrow I got the link. But the only way that I can put out the link is this way. Let me show you how to get there. Hold on. Yeah, man, Harjo and them look like Harjo and them with the busters, man. I got a little deeper into it. Harjo, Jim Jumper, definitely busters. And I gotta also look at the mother names too, man, because there's some straight busters, man. They gave us up when we came out here to Oklahoma, but all them people died in Florida for nothing. That was the case. You should have just did that shit out there in Florida. Goofy ass nigga. Straight up. Niggas busters. So this how you do it. I'm officially do it. So you go to my V Note the Most One Said channel. Like I said, I can't put the link in the chat. YouTube tripping. But if you want to come up for a Q&A or any questions about what I just put down about the 1850s, can definitely come over here, go to my post, and I'm gonna put the link in the comment. So if you want to join the show, that's where you gotta go. Put it in there twice. It's gonna be nice. But if you want to hit the link, it's all good. If not, it's still all good. This was a good little build. We at 130. Just got out some good information about the Seminoles and the Creeks in 1850s. But so we started in June and we ended in October. We started in June and we ended in October, you know what I'm saying? So just some more game about, how we got, like what happened to us when we got out here. You know what I'm saying? As you see, to me, how I'm looking at it, let me turn this down a little bit. The way I'm looking at it is, that they made us slaves, even though we was, because I don't see how a slave can come down here. Just like the OGs were saying, how did slaves come down here with their guns? You know what I'm saying? How the slave bringing guns? We also read today where they tried to say that Jim Bowlegs was a slave, but we also read in 1854 where they said that Jim Bowlegs was a Negro chief. But now they saying, okay, he a slave, but to Billy Bowlegs, and Billy Bowlegs is in Florida. This nigga in Florida, and they saying that this nigga is his slave. This nigga in Florida fighting. Like, I don't know. Just like I say, we also seeing who backdoored us within the Seminoles. Just a couple that came out, like Echo Harjo turned into the Popo. Yeah, he did that for sure. And also, It looked like the Flixicode or something like that. I'm gonna have to dig deeper into that. But throughout all the years, I want to, if there's some Seminoles out there, man, hit my link. You know, Seminoles out there. I'm putting it on Facebook. Definitely putting it on Facebook. You can, so I'm reaching out and putting a little information out there. Hopefully, I'm gonna start, I guess, reaching out myself to the Seminole Indians myself and the chiefs whenever I do go down there more, just to kind of get more information about the history and get a better understanding about about what's going on with the Seminoles and stuff like that, and how did we even get to this point right here where we at right now, where we still got contention if it should be 200 years. If it should be 200 years, so that's why I'm like, damn, how far do a nigga gotta go back to say a nigga is a straight American, nigga? And they can go back farther 200 years, though. That's what I'm saying. Like, how far do a nigga gotta go back to say a nigga is American? Like, but I guess these niggas be want to be technical and be want to be on some goofy shit. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Damn, I'm just like I said, I'm trying to switch it up. I wasn't trying to be doing no cussing. I ain't trying to be tripping with nobody and taking it there. But it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, man, I hope everybody having a good Saturday morning, man. I'm finna step out and try to do something myself, but I may come back and do another little build later on. May just gonna do a hole in the wall dialogue, how they just turn up YouTube surfing, just saying what's up in YouTube, you know what I'm saying? Anybody got anything want to talk about, hitting people panels, debating, doing what I do. Strictly ghetto engine shit, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? I think this 1850 shed a lot of light on some things that I didn't know. And hopefully some things that you didn't know. You know what I'm saying? So I see that nobody hit the link, but it's all good. It's all good, Nobody gotta hit the link. Eventually one day, more people hit the link, tap in, just keep on doing what I'm doing. But until then, we at 1:30. I'm fit to get up out of here, man. Gotta go peep out that game, just like I say. I don't know why I took that off, but hold on a moment. Gotta go peep out these videos if you can. I think this is a good little series about the creek and the Seminoles, as far as within this time frame right here. And all you gotta do is just go over to my page, Strictly Ghetto Engine, the book of the Strictly Ghetto Engine. I need to do some more videos, but I've been doing live shit lately. It's like I can get the information out a little bit better. But gonna go peep out, the 18, first peep out the 1849, July 1849. Come back and peep out this 1850, then go peep out this 1854 and tell me what y'all think about it. And also, you can go to the 1870 and go get some primary sources, reading from the National Archives, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend, and again. And like I said, I hope everybody have a good Saturday morning. Stay up, stay careful out there. Holler at your kids if you ain't holler at your kids today. Holler at your girl if you ain't holler at your girl today. Holler at your kinfolk if you ain't holler at your kinfolk today. Holler at your grandfolks if you ain't holler at your grandfolks today, man. But until then, I'm going to catch up with you, man. Vino the most Strictly Ghetto Engine, a.k.a. Trilly Trill, aka Lil V, aka Got Dreams, aka Vernell Abraham. Check me out.